New World is going to be getting language suggested servers, not just at launch, but possibly in time for the open beta, and I think that is good news. As well, it looks like mounts may have been reconsidered and that they may be on the agenda at some point, but definitely not launch. The developers had a Q&A at Gamescom on the Twitch channel, and some of the questions were fantastic. Some of the answers felt like they were sort of dodging it a little bit, or maybe they just misunderstood. So somebody posted a little bit of an angry message, I think, on the Steam forums, and Windsward has kindly replied. Now, I won't really bother with the first point here, but let's quickly look at point number 2. We are working on language suggested servers and will announce details prior to open beta. Now, depending on where you are in the world, this may not be a problem for you. Like if you just live in America, you may see Spanish occasionally, but if you live in Europe, then, in the beta, you might have seen French, Italian, German, etc. I only speak English because I'm an ignorant, British person, but it is what it is. I just think that having language suggested servers, which are not going to be forced, is probably for the best. So it means if you do speak French and you do speak English, then, you can pick any server you want. You don't have to pick the French one. But if you only speak French, well, now you know where you really should try and congregate. That's if you want to understand everything. Now, quite frankly, I think most people in Europe do speak English, probably better than I do. But, I think this is just good overall. And then we move on to point 3, which is somebody asking about mounts, and they say mounts is a frequently requested feature that would have a huge impact on the design of the game. We have not announced whether mounts will be added or not, so I don't have any updates to share. Now, I'm not sure about the source of this, but it was believed that they had decided that they weren't going to have mounts in the game because they didn't feel like it fit. And I think that sort of makes sense because it feels like the world may not be suited to mounts right now, but quite frankly, with all the fast traveling options that you have, I think not having mounts may feel a little bit weird. I personally would have liked to have had a stable system where, each town had a stables and you could pay and ride a horse from one town to the other, and you'd actually have to do it a little bit like a flight path, but not a flight path. It would be I don't know what you would call it, a riding path. But yeah, the fact that they're not being definitive no or definitive yes sort of generally implies that it's definitely something that's up for debate and probably likely going to be coming up in the future, but obviously it's not confirmed, whereas the language service pretty much is. And on Reddit, I've seen another quick Q&A in a German outlet that I'm not going to try and pronounce, but a couple of interesting things. They're aware of the feedback about the limited options for character creation, which I'm very happy about because it is literally just standard templates and faces and stuff like that. There's no real customization. More there would be fantastic. There they mention a possibility of the servers, but I think with Windsward's comment, it's pretty much confirmed. There's going to be quite a few balance changes, which I think we already understood and can expect. And one thing we already knew is that there's not going to be any content before the release. Now, it's not like they're actually going to be changing anything before the game comes out, but they do say that they are working on PvP content, expeditions, and even the expansions beyond that. So a very interesting time for sure. I personally like the idea of the language servers. I think that's just going to it's just a quality of life feature that should have probably been there from the start, but I'm happy that they look like they're going to be sorting that before launch. And yeah, I'm very happy. Have a most beautiful day. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.